They are spiritually asleep. Those are the type of people that do not recognize when the church of Thyatira comes in. Them false people. They don't recognize it. Because they do just enough to be able to say, notice I didn't say they are this way. I said they do just enough to be able to say, I'm a Christian and I'm going to heaven. So everything else don't matter to them. Then you have the Church of Philadelphia, which is Revelation 3, verse 7 through 13. This is the church that endures so much patiently. They endured it patiently. That's why they are called the city of brotherly love. They endured so much and they held on. They didn't give up. They never denied Jesus. They never got away from the promise in the kingdom of heaven. The Church of Philadelphia. And you got people in the church that they try to do their best. They see things going on. They go over there and they try to tell them what's right. Try to help them to get better. They get cussed out. They get talked about. They get looked at like, oh, they ain't nothing but a bunch of holy rollers. They ain't right. They ain't right. If you go look in their house, they ain't right. And they just trying to do what God has called them to do the best way that they know how. And they get beat down at every corner. Because you got some Thyatiras in there. You got some people that are the Church of Sardis in there. You got those that are the Pergamon in there. And you got those that are in the Church of Ephesus that has gotten away from their first love. Then you have the church which is the Church of Laodicea, which is Revelation 3, verse 14 through 22. These are the lukewarm church. So in other words, there comes certain programs where they feeling good. You know, you have those revivals and you're feeling good. You're going to make a change because you felt that. And you're going to make a change. And then you see them the next week, they doing it the same way they've been doing it. Because maybe they went to somebody in the church and said, hey, we need to change how we doing this. I felt that revival. And then that person might have said something negative to them because they didn't go to the right person. They went to the one they thought they should have went to, and that person said something negative, and then they lost their desire, they fired. So they back cold again. So they're the church. They're the church that says whatever you want to do, I'm just following along with you. I ain't gonna try to change nothing. I ain't gonna try to shake nothing up. Just however you want to do it, that's the way we're gonna do it. They don't want to grow at all. During the season of resetting order in God's church, this is when the season of healing occurs and the cast is in place to immobilize the church in place so that healing can occur. The purpose of that is what today's message is about. The purpose is to get God's church back to their first love. Now, which one of these churches fit you? And if there's more than one of these churches that fit you, what do you need to do to get back to your first love? And your first love is what God has called you to do in the body of the church. What's the ministry work that God has called you to do? And then once you get you in order, then you work on helping others to get in order. So when you have your experience with God, then you help others to have an experience with God, and together you can reset order back into the church. But the one thing you got to keep in your mind, it is possible. But in order for it to happen, you got to first be broken. You got to come into a place of humbleness to realize, God, I messed up. I'm sorry. I messed up. Let me take my own fault Before I go talking about my brothers and sisters, let me take my own fault. Before I go to blaming my leaders, that is all their fault, let me take my fault. I could have did this better. So help me to get in order in these areas so that I can help others get in order. It's all about accomplishing God's purpose for the church. Not our purpose, God's purpose. Thank you for allowing me to bring you this message. We're almost done. We're almost done. We done been x-rayed. We got the cast on us. We're at a place now where we're trying to heal from the situation that we've dealt with. And then gonna come the victory. So thank you. And I will see you later.